Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. We are on episode number 11. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking it out. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, anything like that. It would really help out the growth, and I would really appreciate it. What do we got going on today? It's about 6 a.m. on Friday. It's been about a week or so since I've done an episode. It's been going through a lot mentally, dealing with some things. Just trying to, mainly just trying to deal with that. And just trying to stay busy, see family, see some friends, and just trying to manage that. But what else has been going on? Padres are back. Baseball is back. It's about a month away from opening day. I was able to watch the Padres and A's game the other day, where the Padres ended up coming back and winning. I know it's just spring training, but it's still fun. I really enjoy baseball, especially being in San Diego, having a team. I know it hasn't been exciting for a while, but these last season was exciting. Feel this season will be exciting. Hopefully they can be a contender. Maybe make it to the playoffs. That would be exciting. That would be really, really fun. I just want them to live up to their potential, I guess. You know, they've been acquiring a lot of talent and a lot of good players, and they have some veterans. They have their young players coming up, and I think it could be a good mix, and we'll see what happens. I'm really looking forward to this season, though. I know I've said that every year, every start of the season, I get really excited. I'm like, oh, this is the year. But it seems like they've been taking steps in the right direction, trying to do things right and building for a long-term thing while also capitalizing on the now. So it's interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to this season, though. And hopefully it's not just the same old Padres. But what else has been going on? Last Saturday was a big deal for combat sports. I wasn't doing too well mentally that day, but I watched the Dan Hooker versus Paul Felder fight, just that fight on that whole UFC card. I believe it was happening in New Zealand, where I believe Dan Hooker is from. And Dan Hooker ended up getting the split decision. It was a 5-round fight, and it was a really good fight. I mean, it could have went either way. That's why the split decision was there. I think that was pretty fair. Like I said, you could have went either way with it. It was a lot of back and forth, and it was an exciting fight. It was a good one. We'll see what that does for Dan Hooker. What kind of position that puts him in next in that 155 division. That's a stacked division. So, the big one right now we're looking for in that division is the Tony Ferguson and Khabib fight, April 18th. And I won't be able to watch that one. My dad got us tickets to go see Tom Segura. So that'll be exciting. That'll be fun. But I was really looking forward to that fight. But I'll catch it the next day or something. I'm sure I'll not be able to stay offline to see spoilers, but I'm definitely looking forward to that fight. But I am looking forward to going to see Tom Segura. I've only seen a few comedians in my life, and the last one I did see was Bert Kreischer at Kaboo. And he was funny. I really like that whole group of comedians. That Joe Rogan tree. I want to go see Theo, Joe, Joey Diaz, Theo Vaughn, Brendan Shaw, Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia, Whitney Cummings was funny. Andrew Santino, just all those guys, all those podcast comedian guys. And so gonna be seeing two of them now. Tom Segura, so just that whole crew, that whole tree. I know it's branching off pretty big now, but I do like all of those people, and they're all funny. Their podcasts are great, so I'm excited for that. But what else? And then after that fight, it was almost time for the Wilder and Fury fight. That was exciting. It was exciting if you like Tyson Fury, because man, he just outboxed him. He just outclassed him. It was I really like Tyson Fury. I like his story. And you never knew with Deontay Wilder, because he has that right hand, but it seemed like Tyson Fury was able to neutralize that, and just he stayed out of distance, and then threw a lot of feints and was able to close his distance, hit him, and smother him, and it got ugly, and Fury's corner threw in the towel in the 7th. So Fury won by TKO. And Deontay Wilder came out the next day or 2 days later and said his costume weighed over 40 pounds and he had to wear it for quite a while. And by the time he walked to the ring, his legs gave out and his legs were really weak. And just seems like he was making excuses, but it is what it is. He triggered the rematch clause, so we'll see when they decide to make that fight the trilogy. I was hoping they weren't going to do that, just based on the last two fights. I know the first one went to a draw, but Tyson Fury was outboxing him the whole time, and then he got all 7, maybe 6 out of 7 rounds this second one. So Wilder just has been outboxed both times, and I just don't see the point in doing a third, but they're gonna do it, and we'll see what happens. Yesterday was the Super Showdown WWE event in Saudi Arabia. I threw it on. Probably fell asleep for a little bit of it, but I saw the beginning where R-Truth started the show, and it was like a gauntlet style match or something, and he was going against Bobby Lashley first. I saw that, I believe Bobby Lashley was going for a spear or something. R-Truth got out of the way. Bobby Lashley hit his head on the turnbuckle, fell, and R-Truth got like the roll-up win. Something like that. So R-Truth advanced. Next, I believe it was Andrade. I don't exactly remember what happened, but I know it was kind of like another fluke style win where R-Truth won. And then Eric Rowan came out with his cage that was covered. He set it down. R-Truth knocked over the cage on the outside or something. That really made Eric Rowan mad. And he hit R-Truth with the ring steps, and then that caused the DQ, so R-Truth won. Next thing you know, AJ Styles comes out, and then they put on a little match with him and R-Truth. And AJ got the win with the calf crusher, made him tap. Rey Mysterio was supposed to be coming out, cuts to backstage, and he's getting beat up by the club. There's a little like in-ring conversation. AJ Styles wants to be the winner of the whole thing. Next thing you know, cuts back to the backstage. The club has been beaten up, and it's the Undertaker. Undertaker comes out, does one choke slam, lays out AJ Styles 1, 2, 3. So Undertaker wins that trophy or whatever it was for the gauntlet match. Pretty ridiculous in my opinion. Pointless. Seems like a lot of these matches were just kind of pointless, and I don't know. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the event overall. Brock versus Ricochet, pointless. Squash match. Brock wins quickly. And then what did they do to the Fiend? Fiend and Goldberg. Goldberg wins. Basically a squash match. Just ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see what they do with the Fiend. Hopefully they can still capitalize on his character, because that's a great character, and he was being booked really strong. And just to be laid out by like 4 or 5 spears, I don't think that was enough. And one barely could get over his head jackhammer. Yeah, I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy the event. I thought a lot of the matches were pointless. But shout out to Bayley and Naomi being women wrestling there. I know it wasn't the first time, but for them to still be able to do that again, good on WWE to try and implement some sort of maybe progressive thinking in that way, in that area. So that's cool. I do think that's noteworthy for sure. But overall, I did not enjoy the event. I know The Miz and John Morrison won tag titles, so that was pretty cool. Good change of title there. But again, overall I did not enjoy the event, but we'll see what they do. It's going to be Elimination Chamber and then basically WrestleMania after that. So we're getting close to that. So I'm sure they'll do something to make it right, make it good, but overall I don't know. It wasn't it, but I guess that's that Saudi money for you. What else? switch up topics a little bit. So the stock market had hit an all-time high about like last month, and it kept making records, kept going up, and then it's been dropping. It's had the biggest drop in a single day the other day, and coronavirus is kind of being to blame for it. At least that's on multiple articles I've looked up and read, that people are just worried about it being a pandemic. So it seems like people are just trying to pull out their money and just maybe have cash on hand. I guess that's all I can think of. That's all, you know, I would think it is. But man, if I was having some income right now, if I had a job, I'd be putting more money into it, buying these dips, and thinking more long term, because if you look over time, the market always tends to go up. So might as well take advantage of these lows, and when it bounces back, you'll have bought more for a better price. So that's how you got to think of it. You got to think of it long term. You can't be worried too much about right now, because this is just kind of a short term thing. The market was doing great, and then all of a sudden there's this scare, and people, I believe, just panic sell. So yeah, if you're investing, I would just say don't worry too much. And I would, I would buy now if I could, but right now I can't. So I'm just keeping my eye on it though, and it's interesting how it does this. Goes up and down, and has its lows and has its highs, and what's the cause and what's to blame and all that. It's good to keep an eye on, that's for sure, because that's kind of what's really kind of running our country and economy. So I would suggest at least keeping your eye on it. And yeah, that coronavirus, that COVID-19, whatever they're calling it now, I believe this is more of just a scare tactic than anything. It seems like they're hyping up all the deaths, but it seems like about only 2% of the people infected have died. Sounds like 80% of the people or so are just emit kind of cold-like symptoms, and then they just get over it and they're fine. And then the rate goes up in the elderly. More deaths with the elderly, but that's just, I would assume, a lower immune system. Just being older, not being able to fight it off as well. But yeah, I think it's more of a scare tactic than anything. But that's just my opinion. I know when they've quarantined people here, they had a few people here in Miramar quarantined, and from my understanding, they got them better quick. So I don't know if they were infected or whatever, but I know they took the precaution, quarantined them, and all good. So again, I think it's more of a scare tactic, and look what it did to the market. It made it fall, made people panic sell, and just feels like a game. Just feels like a game to me. But it is what it is. Let's do this. Let's have this dab. I haven't dabbed for you guys yet. I have this kosher kush from Apex Extractions. Boom. Looks like this right here. Just got a little bit left. I'll just take a little dab. But yeah, we'll get this going, and then I will probably get going with my day. What am I gonna do after this? I'm gonna go chill for a little bit, try and get this uploaded and exported, all of that. Gonna go on a run. We'll see if I have my appointment later. I gotta firm up a time. And yeah, I gotta fill out some job applications. And just try and keep myself busy. That's what I gotta do. I just gotta keep myself busy and occupied, and try not to focus on the negative. That's what I have to do. I have to get better for myself so I can be better for who I want to be with. And yeah, that's just how it goes. So that's what I'm doing now, and just gotta keep myself busy. Just gotta do things and keep myself occupied. See family, friends, and things like that. So, alright, guys. Let's take this dab, and then I'll get out of here. Cheers. Yeah, that's nice. Nice way to start out the morning. Get feeling good. And appreciate you guys stopping by, still listening. Again, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And until next time, everybody. Peace.